Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea. Welcome back to another high level game of StarCraft 2. Today we have a best of 3 between in the bottom left spawning as our blue Zerg player playing for Team Vitality. It is Solar. And in the top right as our red Terran player playing for Team Liquid. It's going to be Clem. Clem is one of those people that I find difficult to rate. And the reason why I say it is because I believe that Clem, mechanically and just at speed-wise, which I guess is mechanically, but also micro-wise, is probably just the best player in the world right now. And I think in both Terran versus Protoss and Terran versus Zerg, you can make a pretty decent case for saying he is the best Terran in the world. I was actually speaking with some Korean Zergs as well, and they were telling me that they prefer playing against Maru rather than playing versus Clem. Clem has been spending some time in Korea, and I take those opinions pretty serious. So the one thing that Clem lacks, though, is his Terran versus Terran. It is something that he has been struggling with at the big tournaments, at the small tournaments. He just is not as good in the TVT matchup as he is in the other two. And it might be because TVT tends to be a lot more positioning based, kind of setting up these engagements, movement based, rather than really control or speed. Because you can't really drop, well, you can drop in TVT, but it's a lot harder because Vikings are so prevalent. It's the same thing that, you know, you can micro your Marines all you want, but if the other guy has 5 more tanks, you're going to be winning that fight. So it's just so difficult to say where his actual strengths are and where they aren't when it's so dependent on the matchup as well. Either way, right now, we're in a matchup where he is extremely strong. Triple CC coming in, followed up by a 2-1-1 with just a couple of Hellions. We have 2 of them out. This is an old school build. He's been playing this for a long time. This is his safety build. This is the build that when he plays against players where it's like, okay, if I get into a stable mid game, I'm pretty sure I'm going to win. He gets a very neat Marine count. He gets pretty quick stim, yet still a little bit of control with these 2 Hellions. So Ling run by shouldn't be much of an issue. Any type of cheese shouldn't be too much of an issue because he gets that scouting with the Reaper plus 2 Hellions, and then you have the Marines behind that. So Clem feels extremely comfortable with this build. He's gonna follow this up with it. Oh. This is a neat little variation here. This is going to be a Hellbat follow-up with it. I hadn't quite expected that, and the question here is going to be, is Solar expecting this? He does not have any tech structures yet. He's at 8 queens, which is a decent queen count. He's going to move up to 9, of course. There's 2 more Hellions have popped out. Clem, is he going to wait for, okay, just a couple more Marines, and then he boosts across the map. So it's not going to be combat shield here. There's going to be 4 Hellbats. Ooh, maybe only 3 if Clem ain't careful. Does need to morph these bad boys. Marines show up. Hellions, come on. Gotta morph. Gotta morph, buddy. That's what I'm expecting here. More links now on the way. Are all queens being pulled forward? We have 1, 2, 3, 6 queens. That means there's still a couple of queens that are not joining into the fight. They're now being pulled down. This is a lot of units. This is actually a lot of units. 60 drones, 18 links. Can we do it? Yes, we perhaps can. This is most likely going to be a hold. Just a single medevac. So many Marines still. Queens might fall. But I do believe that this is going to get cleaned up eventually. I mean, there's just not enough healing right now for these Hellbats. There we go. Next wave of links should be capable of clearing this, right? All queens are going to go down though. Solar still up 10 workers. I love that Clem realizes, hey, I don't think I can go too deep anymore. Went for a couple more creep kills. Now still is going to try to run. He's actually going to lose a bunch of his Marines as a result. I think he could have been a little bit more careful there. The control here on the Hellbat is phenomenal. Oh my god. Clem is actually still pushing in. I thought it was over, and Solar didn't think it was over. He's been consistently building links. He now believes it's going to be over soon, as we see. Oh my god, beautiful pickup. 6 HP here. Next set of Hellions also showing up. These 2 bad boys. Oh my god, beautiful control here with that low ping on the Korean server. Does end up losing 3 out of the 4. Get some pretty okay trades here in my opinion. Clem does need to be careful. Doesn't want to continue pushing into into a Zerg that has now pretty much officially held. 1-1 upgrades are faster for Solar as well, who is adding in more queens. He's getting the Banes, he's getting the drones. He's getting everything he wants. Except perhaps a better hold in the early game. Which is probably what he wanted the most. You can have it all, except for one thing. And that was the one thing. Mines are gonna burrow, shoot on burrow as well, yeah. Don't want to shoot at just the single link, so you're gonna have this dance between both Clem and Solar. And so far, Clem is kind of winning that dance. Good controller with the mines is gonna lose both. As new queens have materialized here. Loving this little link patrol, by the way. As well as this link kind of behind the army, making sure there's no reinforcements going anywhere. Supplies are extremely close. Usually that's a bad sign for the Zerg. In this type of high aggression situation, creep is not really existent here. Which is also usually bad for the Zerg. We don't have an infestation pit yet, which also isn't great for the Zerg. See Solar now trying to send out a Ling flank, or perhaps a Ling run by it. Not quite gonna get there though. Gonna pick up a couple of Lings or a couple of Marines in the middle of the map. So that's gonna cut the reinforcements. Baneling count is pretty decent. Centrifugal hooks is now finished up as well. Can these mines get the hits they need? The answer is gonna be no, not really. They get no hits whatsoever. As Clem actually microed back onto creep. That is a rare maneuver to see. He was off creep and went on creep. He's now gonna clear a couple more of these tumors to get a target fire here. Solar's freaking afraid of that, and he should be. It's like just running in there with the Banes is so risky, because if Clem has enough damage output, he's just gonna snipe every single one. Pew, pew, pew. There's nothing you can do about that. Except not run them in, or get more Banelings, so he can do that. It's just constant aggression, right? We've been watching Marines on this side of the map since minute 6. They just haven't stopped. I would not want to be a Baneling in a movie that Clem plays in. Because you're not surviving that. You're simply not surviving that. Overlord speed is now about to finish up, and I wonder if we're gonna see any drops with it, or if it's just for better scouting, some help on the overseers, keeping up with the main army. Hydra Bane is gonna be the defensive tool here for Solar. The question, of course, is going to be, can Solar actually hold here? Because it's 150 supply to 157. Loads and loads of Marines still here. Mines in the back. Haven't really done much in this fight. Can we get some snipes on these Banelings? No, we won't. 2-2 upgrades for Clem are not done yet. So this is a bit of a timing here for Solar, where if he wants to fight, this should be the timing. You're up 2 upgrades. Clem is just going to continue fighting though. Says, oh, nice upgrades, but look at me, I have Marines. And medevac, holy crap. That's a lot of freaking medevacs here. It's what, 9 medevacs for about 10 Marines. Gonna run back. Mines now coming in. 3 Banes for 2 mines is a trade that Solar's gonna be happy with. That's not the type of trade you usually get against Terran, as Clemish is gonna continue just pushing across the map in a large parade of units. 5 more mines showing up, a couple more Marines, some of them stimmed already. Coming from a tight EDM party. They use the drugs not in war, but for love instead. That's a lot of mines just clumped up together, and Solar could actually get some fat hits here. At the same time though, it seems like Clem is just tipping the balance ever so slightly in his favor when it comes to the supply. Decides to fight here with the +2 attack, but a lot of his supply is actually in these medevacs, and the damage output of Solar is going to be good enough. We need an overseer to clear these final mines. That would be a huge deal. As a phenomenal fight here out of Solar, who somehow has found the budget as well to get into Hive. I didn't even realize that, but he found the budget to get into Hive. Now he's getting his range upgrade as well as Vipers. Vipers are of course going to be huge against all of those medevacs that are out. We have Liberators that are being added in. We have a Ghost Academy that's about to hit the field as well. Hit the ground running. More command centers now on the way, so it's going to be 5 bases versus 5 soon as the double drop hits the main, but Baneling's in position to actually clear a decent amount here, and that's going to be the end of this drop play. Major issue for Solar still being the lack of creep threat. The complete lack of counter pressure that he's been capable of putting on. Like, we haven't seen a single Ling run by into the natural, into the third. We saw once reinforcements being cut, but that's really all there is to it. Lurkers now are joining the fight. Clem has seen that and instantly alternates his angle. It's like, hey, wait a second. Your Lurkers are over here. That means they're not in the middle. Banelings, however, are going to be good enough. Supplies are 150 to 180. Overseer goes down. Seismic Spines finishes up. Ooh, Liberator sieging up. Actually got a couple of kills. See if we can get anything else done. More and more bio units moving across. Sees that one lurker is going to go in for the snipe. Will get it as well. Quick pickup and runs back. Liberator does get cleared. I think managed to take out 1 or 2 Hydras there in the end. Clem's going to continue pushing. There's not a single unit here in the middle, by the way. Solar completely out of position. Tries to go for a Nidus network. But perhaps first should try and clear his own base before thinking of attacking Banelings to get some connections. Clem still just up 40 supplies, continuing to build bases, is continuing to drop here. Now is going in for the snipe on the lurker, then it's not gonna get it and actually doesn't pick up in time either. That is a mistake. That actually was a pretty significant error. Now he's gonna jump in here into the lurker, snipes 1, loses a little bit of his bio supply though. Clem does need to be careful now that we have these lurkers out, because with lurkers things can change very rapidly. They really can. The mine count also isn't anymore what it used to be. Once upon a time in Amphion. So if you get to like a lurker count of 9, 10, 11, 12, you get a Nidus up, all of a sudden you're looking at a very different game, a very difficult game here for Clem. Ooh, so Viper is gonna get sniped. I mean, Clem still is in complete control at this point, but the lurker count continues to grow. We're gonna go up to 9. That Nidus network has never been built again. The drone that was going to build it got taken out. And with that, the plans of that piece of architecture also died. Ghost is moving in forward, getting some snipes on these lurkers. I'm doing a phenomenal job here. Okay, here comes the next Nidus network. It isn't the natural. Because really the only plan that Solar has here is throw a Nidus down somewhere and pray to God that Clem doesn't see it. That's really the game plan here. And that's not actually that bad of a game plan. That is the game plan of a lot of Zerg players against Clem. Like, let's build Nidus networks and hope he doesn't pay attention. Which, yeah, it is what it is sometimes. We have a quad drop here on the far right side. It is rare to see this type of army splits this big. Usually later on in the game when ghosts arrive, we actually see the entire army being together. This army doesn't have any mines with it either. Lurker count is pretty small. We're gonna get a big scan forward. Gonna get some more snipes. Oh, I think Clem actually needs to piss off a little bit. I think he's playing this too aggressive almost. So Nidus network does go up. Let's see if Clem knows where it's happening. Oh, we get us around. Do these guys have adrenal glands? Yes, they do. Hydras are gonna try pushing this back as well. We still have lurkers defensively. Yeah, we'll need to set up again. It's 5 lurkers, 1 more coming from the side. I think this should be enough for the defense. We're gonna get a Nidus in the main right now as well, as I haven't quite seen where the rest of the lurkers are. Is Clem paying attention? I think he should be, but he's not. He's not, and the Nidus network is gonna go up in, or the Nidus worm is gonna go up in the main base. We instantly see Solar just trying to run into that Nidus network, but he just doesn't have the lurker count. He needs to get some lurkers in there, but right now that's not happening. A big fat army is moving back home as well, and at the same time Clem is just pushing in forward saying, hey, I can kill you before you get to the Nidus. That is much better than clearing the units that come out of the Nidus. As Clem is just going to clear this relatively easily. Only 3 lurkers, Ghost showing up, more links now popping out of this Nidus. I just don't think it's going to be good enough. 2 Nidus worms, but no lurkers. 190 supply to 150, and that was really kind of the card up Solar's sleeve. It just was not a very good card. Like having the Dark Magician up your sleeve, which I always was surprised that was the Yugi's favorite card. Well, it was such a crappy card altogether. Awful stats. It's truly a mystery of our time. They let the writers of Yu-Gi-Oh get away with having the Dark Magician as the main card of a popular trading card game show. Oh, here we go. Lurker's gonna burrow. It's not really gonna get anything. You just can't get anything. This is a bad position for a Ghost Academy, apparently. They didn't know that when they built it, though. They didn't quite have the information yet. The technology wasn't there yet. Couldn't have predicted the future. As I think this game is honestly just kind of coming to an end. The lurker count is not high enough anymore. Clem has so many freaking medevacs. 13 medevacs. It is a little party. It is a little party. And it's a party that Solar isn't invited to anymore. He's getting kicked out of his own house. This is mine now, says Clem, as he takes game number 1. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, but whenever I watch a Clem game, I always wonder why I don't do it more often. Like, the kid just plays so freaking entertaining. I think we legitimately had action from minute 6 till minute 12 or something. Like, he is just non-stop, just running across the map with crap, microing it, fighting it. Behind all of that, there's perfect macro. We didn't really have a lot of time to look at that because, as I mentioned, it was just constant fights. It's actually wild, and it's really cool to see that he is actually the only player that does it. There's a lot of other high-level Terran players, and they're not half as aggressive as he is. They're not continuously fighting like he does. He is just always there. He's in your face. He's now going to open up with a slightly more aggressive early game. That does mean that the minutes 4 till 6 are going to be slightly more passive. So, going to get a double, triple, quadruple, sync, tipple. Just a couple of Reapers are going to come out. Third CC most likely. Ooh, second gas. I think that's standard, and you can still go triple CC if I'm not mistaken. Either way, we're going to have to keep an eye here on this Reaper, see what it's capable of doing. So far, quite a bit of damage on 1 Ling. Ooh, 1 Ling goes down. That's with a 6 Ling defense. 1 Ling goes down, drone a little bit damaged. Second Reaper shows up. And that second Reaper is going to start shooting this hatchery right now. Reaper 3 is going to show up. And is going to be joining the party as well. Solar doesn't want to lose this hatchery. That should be clear. I wonder if this is enough damage with the triple Reaper. For a Terran player. It's like, hey, if I clear this hatchery, that's what, 75 minerals? That the Zerg loses on the cancel. And another 50 that they lose on the drone. Lynx now looking for a surround or perhaps just for a run by towards the other side of the map. Look at that. Gonna go to try and clear maybe this tech lab or a depot. Ooh, Lynx coming around. Actually falling very low right now. Grenades are being thrown as well. Perhaps the ability to run into the main is there. Oh, this is gonna be so close with Metabolic Boost. Look at this. 9 seconds, 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Hatch is probably gonna survive, but a lot of Lynx are going down already. 2 more seconds, and then Speed will finish together with the hatchery. And Clem decides, hey, that was good fun. Now let's dance in your main base. And Solar was not prepared for a change of venue. He's actually caught pretty much out of position. He has the wrong shoes. Not allowed in here. Oh. Couple of drones might end up falling. A lot of Lynx here are gonna go down as well. Resources lost is 400 to 0. 425 to 0. All Reapers still alive. Now the first one is going to go down. Second one might fall as well as more Lynx show up. And that's going to be the end of the Reaper. Even in the hands of Clem, eventually they do end up dying. This hatchery is extremely low. And we might see a continuation of harassment on this base later on with a couple of Marines and 2 medevacs. If that's the case, this base is close to falling already. The thing here is that 20 Lynx went down. 12 Lynx are still on the map. That is the equivalent of 16 drones, right? 32 Lynx. Usually you build maybe 4 to 8 Lynx in the early game. And then you rely on Queen. So this is a lot of drones that have not been built. You know, these guys, they're drones. They were supposed to be drones. They were destined to be drones until the Reaper showed up. They were turned into Lynx. Split in half. Painful. Not fun. Absolutely not fun. They were destined for a life of mining minerals in honestly decent conditions if you're in Solar's hands. Especially in the natural base. Life is pretty sweet. Now they're a Ling, a disposable unit. Soul split in half. These guys are not going into Zerg heaven. Which I guess would be like hell. Ooh, double drop moving out. It's gonna go for the Overlord here. This is a sign of respect, by the way. Like, if Clem was playing against Harstem's off race, he would fly these 2 medevacs across the map and he would straight up win with it. I think. That's what I'd expect, at least. He'd win with it. He'd win with the first 2 medevacs. But now instead, he just took the guaranteed damage because he knows that Solar's going to be in position. Solar's going to be ready. Not sure if that was actually true. Solar went pretty high here in the in the drone count, 58. Didn't have all of his queens in position. He's going to lose another Overlord. There's actually hardly any Lynx. Clem can't attack into this though. Too many transfuses available. Doesn't want to lose any Marines here. More links on the way. I think our run by would be tight. There's a single tank though. Not sure how tight it would be anymore. This is the type of thing that Dark would do. You know, Dark would have 70 links on the other side of the map. Would lose 50 to kill 3 SCVs and a mule and then be ahead. No one really knows how the math works when Dark is playing, but that's how it happens. I've seen it before. Combat Shield's about to kick off here. Another Overlord. It's Overlord number 3. Aye, aye, aye. Not a good day to be an Overlord. Not a good day to be Solar either. Ooh, he's gonna lose this hatch. Or well, cancel, not lose. Get a redrop over here. What are the plans here, Clem? What are the plans? We have 5 barracks. We have 1-1 upgrades on the way. We have an armory coming in as well. Gonna just boost back. It's gonna... Ooh, is that a tank? That's a gnarly position he's taking here, isn't it? Tank over here? I think this is the spot, right? Look at that. Oh, like 2 links can attack it. This is actually the perfect spot. Oh my god. How have I never seen this spot before? Yeah. Look at this! Once I saw the tank flying, I knew exactly where it was going to be positioned. Holy crap. If you have 900 links, this tank is going to kill like 850 before it dies. This is a crazy position for a tank. 1-1 has finished up. Here comes the flank. Links are gonna clear it eventually. We'll get 1-2 extra shots off. And at the same time, Clem is winning on the low ground. Good snipe there on the Bane. As always, really. Let's see if he can get a couple more tight snipes in here. We have 1, we have 2. I think we saw 3 being sniped and 1 detonate. Out of the 5 Banes, 4 got taken out. And Clem is going to... Oh my god, I love this. He just keeps reinforcing this same location. This is such a good spot as well. This is such a powerful spot to just kind of attack from. To go. Say, hey. Teacher. Leave those kids alone. That's what the tank does from here. Ooh, mine with it too. I love that. Because then as a unsuspecting Zergling, you move in there and boom, the mine shoots from behind. This position is mental. 72 workers here for Solar, as Solar decides it's not worth it. At this base, not for me anymore. Maybe in the past I thought this was a good idea, but I hadn't played enough against Clem yet. He's now going to go for a Ling run by. Solar's one of those players that often does Ling run bys out of desperation, rather than as like a general move. Dark always does them, when he's 5,000 supply ahead, when he's 300 supply behind, and when he's even. When Solar's more, ooh, here's a bad situation, let me run by. It's actually going to deal a lot of damage here. Clem's going to lose basically every single worker. Single tank defending is not enough, and Solar, with that, well, semi-desperation play, gets himself not just back into the game, but in a serious lead in the eco. The only problem here is that he's down in supply. Two is halfway done. Wait, the spawning pool? Wait, how did I miss that? What? What the hell happened there? Was there a drop in the main? Oh, this queen looks damaged as well. I'm sorry for completely missing that. I have no clue what happened, but apparently a spawning pool got destroyed. Interesting. Alright, 2-2 is on the way here. Do we have an infestation pit yet? I don't think so. Oh, do we do? We have an infestation pit. Do you need a spawning pool to start a hive? I don't even know that. I don't think you do. I think the only requirement is an infestation pit. But, and a lair, of course. You do need a lair to start a hive. Ooh, queen almost dies. Good transfuse. Solar here with that supply lead, or sorry, with that eco lead, is should be increasing his supply. Not sure if he's going to be capable of holding this base though. It's a lot of freaking Marines and not so many Banelings. I think we have like 9 or 10. Not a super high number. A couple of links here on the edge of sensor tower vision. The thing is that Clem just doesn't get hit by Banes. That is a serious issue if your main way of dealing with the Terran force is Banelings. And he's just standing there. It feels like they magically disappear. It's like he snaps them with his eyes or something. This tank in the back is actually really helping out as well. 14 kills already. Clem moving in fourth. This is it, no? This is game. game, set, and match as Clem walked forward with the 2-2 upgrades. Solar can't hold. GG gets called, and we have a 2-0 victory here. Sight that. What a position that was with a tank there. That was beautiful. That was freaking beautiful. What a game. What a series. Clem, complete domination here. Yeah, nothing to say about it, except legit just complete domination. Even built an orbital on the fort. That's how confident he was in his ability to keep complete map control at all times. Phenomenal stuff. Really phenomenal stuff. All right, it's going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you next time for a new video. Bye-bye.